film. Because I've been doing theater for most of my life. It's secondhand to me. And so television and film was not. But now, now it definitely is. But then I was like, ooh, and struggling. And I had coaches and I had friends who helped me and who did different things. So that is what the culmination of all the work I had been doing when I got to my yes, because my yes was there from the beginning of time, right? It just had to be for this role. You get that? So it was already, God already was going to make it happen, but it was for this role and not for the 20, 30, 40, 50 other roles that I auditioned for.
Hey, Ms. Ursula,
I know Excalibur. Let me just say this. One of the things that you have to be an actor is that you got to be able to withstand the no's. You got to be able to deal with the rejection. And I understand, Craig, it's hard for you to even imagine this concept because I know you never get rejected. When you have that star on, baby, I know nobody says no to you. But Excalibur and Vic, I know you are used to no's. Your teams are no's.
Next question.
Let's wrap this up. Going on about now.
High five me, Craig. High five me.
Wrap it up. Just let me know so I can cut mics off if I want to.
Hey, Miss Ursula, you know who I would love to see you with? I think it would be a dope concept. You and Miss Pat.
Oh, yes. I love Miss Pat.
Yes.
Yeah. Y'all two personalities, man. I think that would be a dope television show.
I love it. Yeah.
A dope movie with you guys, man. I think that would be dope for you guys. Please make contact with her. Y'all set that up, man. Y'all do something in the future.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. We gonna do it.
Okay.
I feel it in my shanana. Yeah, Miss Pat. Miss Pat. Now Miss Pat crazy.
Yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying. I know.
So you're trying to say that my crazy is equivalent?
Well, I'm just saying y'all
complementary.
Your personality. Okay. I think your personality can kind of live out her craziness. I could just see y'all two together.
Okay. Right. Definitely. Yes. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm in agreement with you.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to be on the Family Business. Y'all watch the Family Business?
I love Family Business.
Listen, so they can put me in that little car. Why they always putting Junior in that little car?
Yeah.
Junior be in there like this, roll up in that little Jaguar. And I was like,
oh no! Hey,
I know Junior didn't pick that car.
I know it. Junior got to hold his breath in that car. Yeah, mama.
Junior pissed me off, man. How you get mad at your family for finding out your mama is? You should be mad at Lisa Ray.
Thank you.
How you get mad at everybody else?
And how you gonna go against your daddy and you know your daddy crazy?
Yeah, and your daddy you gonna leave the money. Your mama still struggling. Your real mama struggling, living off your daddy. All right, hey man, come on, dude.
That's
what
I'm doing. But
hey, the new season starting this week, right?
Does it?
I believe so. I think it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
This week and next week.
No. Well, look, y'all look out because Trey Haley, the director, I did a one-on-one with him a couple of years ago. We did a Zoom and he did a one-on-one for our students. And he's coming back to South Carolina State this semester to do workshops. So y'all just be on the lookout for the announcement about that. I'm not sure.
Let us know, Missouri. Please do.
So definitely y'all come out because he'll be in Orangeburg. Okay. And guess who else is coming? Richard Lawson. He's coming in March.
Okay.
Richard Lawson, and he's coming in March and he's coming to do a workshop with our students too. Yeah.
Hey, awesome. Craig, make sure you listen out. All right. You out here in Orangeburg. So make sure you listen out, Craig, or Miss Ursula. Keep us updated on that. Okay, please.
Okay, then I certainly will. I definitely will.
I got one more question, and I got a game called the Firing Squad, and we end the show on that. I saw an interview you did with my boy Michael Finkley. Shout out to Mike.
Yeah.
When you on set, sometimes you fangirl out. So who's the celebrity that you ever had a fangirl out on?
Oh my gosh. I totally fangirl on Mr. Perry when I first met him. Okay, my first day on set. Let me just tell you, my first day on set, I have a scene with Megan Good. I meet Tyler Perry, Megan Good, Richard Lawson, Debbie Morgan, and I think was Taylor. Was Taylor? No, she wasn't part of that. But yeah, and then Joseph Lee Anderson. I met all of them within 2 minutes.
Wow.
So that is like the ultimate fangirl moment. And when Mr. Perry is like, he said, "Now, baby, what's your name? Tell me your name again." And I said, "Ursula Robinson. I'm playing Linda." And like, girl, that man know what he cast you for. Like this. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And I didn't know, And then and look, I had messed up. And I don't know how I forgot my lines. And I said to Megan, what's my line? She said, no, you say so and so and so. I said, oh, okay. And I was like, let me get that. That's how fangirl I was.
Yeah.
Didn't have my line together. And I was like, oh, Lord. And then when I did it, Mr. Perry, which I thought was so funny, he said, "Ooh, Miss Linda, you do that too easily." And I was like, "Oh, it's very connected, very connected." That scene we did at the hospital, very last scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was the first scene that I shot.
Okay, wow.
It was good. So that was definitely fangirl moment. Definitely fangirl moment. Wow. And I think I'll probably fangirl out when I meet Oprah.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm surprised you haven't came across her yet. I know she always on Tyler Perry Studios. So
yeah.
So
I'm
like, you won't cross her if you hanging with Monique.
Oh yeah, and I would love to meet Monique. I admire people not just for what they do, but for what they overcame to do what they do.
Yeah.
I like hearing people's stories.
Yeah.
Not just famous people, but people, period. So when I'm sitting down talking to people and I'm asking questions, I know they're like, girl, what's that? I said, listen, I'm a writer and an actor. People's stories, that's what we eat. That's what helps us to create these characters that are so wonderful and three-dimensional, is that we study human beings. And as a writer, I know the people at my church would laugh because when they would come see my plays, they would find something in there that may be a little of their story. I may put a line or something in there that somebody at my church says or circumstance, and nobody else will know, but I'll hear a whole group of people laughing real hard because it's so like an inside joke. And so I always put a little bit of stuff from them and from my family members. So when they see it, they all laugh and do the stuff too. You as an audience may not know the impact of it, but it's going to be funny to you too. So, but I like to incorporate that into what I do.
Yeah. Well, we're going to the next thing we're going to do is called the firing squad. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Just answer the best you can as fast as possible. Okay.
Okay, then. All right.
Psychology states, there's only two emotions, being love or fear. Which one you'd rather be?
I would rather be fearfully in love.
Wow.
Can't see that? Okay.
Okay. What's the biggest fear? What's your biggest fear?
Gosh. I don't know. You got me with that one. It used to be, my biggest fear used to be leaving this world not having had the opportunity to follow my dream. It used to be my biggest fear that I would die in obscurity, never having done some of the things that I wanted to do.
I can respect that.
And so, but now, because I'm thinking about fears and things that I want, listen, I had a vision board, and on my vision board, I had Tyler Perry. I had a certain weight. I had a certain square footage of a house. I had the marriage. Did I have children? I had full-time permanent actress. and opening up my school. And I have done most of those things. I do have a program that I take into the public schools. It's Raise Art Academy, and I go into the schools and work with the young people where they don't have drama programs, and I use art to inspire students to be their best. So I've done that. I work with Tyler Perry. I think my last time I weighed, I'm less than 10 pounds away from my weight loss goal.
Oh,
I moved into a house. In fact, I made down payment on my house with the first check I got from Tyler Perry Studios when I worked on the pilot. And I used money to for down payment on a house. So I got a house. Although I gotta tell people, when you buy a house, oh my God, I thought I knew stuff. But honey, yeah. But
last year. I know.
Yeah. And so, and the only thing I think that's left is like there's other things left, other big things coming and everything. But I was like, oh my gosh, like really within 1 or 2 years, all of these things happen.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? All these things happen. Now that I met Craig, I might this might be where we can hear the wedding bells. Oh no, Craig don't put all the light on now. Okay, now we got all the light going.
Hey,
what's the best? What's the best? Oh, go ahead, Craig.
When you spoke about housing and so forth and so on, I'm really thinking about doing a workshop because a lot of people like yourself and others don't know the ins and outs of mortgage. I did it for 8 years, and so I'm really considering. Well, I know I'm going to do it. Speak to how to improve your credit, what it takes to improve your credit, what it takes to purchase a home, the ins and outs, down payments.
Right. And listen, that part I studied, but what nobody told me was that you need to know the history of the house, because this house had it's the old man who lived here took in crackheads, but nobody told me that. And he was a hoarder, but nobody told me that.
Right.
Wow. See, those things by law are supposed to be disclosed, and they didn't do that. And when I tried to get a lawyer here in Orangeburg and around, people told me because the person who sold the house to me, that particular mortgage company, they said nobody would take my case. Wow. In this area, I would have to find a lawyer kind of out because everybody has to work with that person, and nobody wants to burn
the connectivity of it. But it has to be full disclosure.
So it was right, and they did not disclose things. So I didn't find out stuff until I met my neighbors. So part of that process, because I did the research, but there's nowhere online that would tell you that. Tell people to go talk to the neighbors. Go talk to the neighbors and see what the neighborhood. Look at the crime report. I know they give you something like that on Zillow, but you gotta look at the crime report, because I stayed not that far. Oh, don't let me tell you where I stayed, but I stayed what I thought was a good part of Orangeburg. But there is in any city, the hill moves. You know what the hill is? So the hill is where all the drug deals and all that stuff go down. And the hill moves in Orangeburg, according to the police. They told me the hill moves. And
I used to work in Orangeburg.
Oh yeah, and the hill moves. So when the hill moves, the people do da 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 da, and then they stay in certain motels. And my understanding is they now they have they're taking over like near the hospital and stuff. And then some people like they don't move downtown but they move around all the time. So those things you got to know. And I don't think I knew enough about that part of the research. I understood because I got them to buy down points and I got them to do this, but learning about that mortgage stuff and getting the right person to work with you through these things. One of the first realtors I called, she was like, I told her what I wanted to spend. And she said, oh no, push yourself. You could do that. You could have more. You could do more. I'm like, what? We good, boo. You're not good. You're not good with me. Because the reason why I stayed where I stayed for so many years is because my landlord didn't change my rent. And my rent is my rent was lower than a car payment.
Right.
So I was there for 24 years. I didn't want to move.
No, it gave you the ability to save.
I don't bought her house.
Right.
I don't bought her thing, but and it didn't make, it was not a financial thing. I just like, didn't want to go through that route.
That's understandable.
What's the best piece of advice you ever received?
The best piece of advice I've ever received.
Mm-hmm.
You are enough.
Mm-hmm. What's the worst?
You ain't. Way back in the day, I had someone, I met an agent when I was in graduate school, and the agent told me that because of my size, because of my body size, and my face was youthful, so my body size and my face didn't go together, and that I would have to wait until till my face catches up with my body.
Wow.
And I'm not mad about it, because before I was like, but what it did was it just shined the light on my insecurities.
Yeah.
So and I responded to like, yeah, maybe you're right. So I didn't go and pursue the industry, because here's someone validating my fears, and I believed it. So yeah, but you can't say nothing like that to me now.
There you go.
Right, you know what I mean? But that was a choice that I made. So I try not to make sure, you know how you tell yourself stories and you play things in your mind. And I always go back and make sure that I'm being accurate about the stories that I'm telling myself. Right? Because even in that instance, I could have made it about the other person, but it was not about the other person. They said what they said. People have said crazy stuff to me all my life. Why did I listen to that thing?
Yeah.
Because that thing hit me in a place where I was wounded at that time.
Right. Divorcing the Black or Diary of a Mad Black Woman?
Divorcing the Black. Are you crazy? There's only one answer to that question. Yes.
I do have one last one.
And I had people who came up to me who watched it 15 times. They see me in the store and they're like, oh, I'm going to go home and watch it right now.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a quick question.
It's great.
Have you ever seen a film, whether it be Tyler Perry or any other movie, and you saw an actress or an actor in that movie and you say, I could have done a better job?
That's nasty, Craig. I try not to do that because one, I'm going to be working with a lot of people.
Right.
And I don't want them to go back and look in the interview talking about, remember how you said I did a bad job?
Don't say no names.
You ain't gotta say the person's name or the movie.
Don't say no names.
Yeah.
If I tell you the character, then you know the character. Now I will tell you there have been things where I wanted to play the person. I don't think that would do a better job than what they did or whatever. But I actually played Sophia in Color Purple in a local production with Claflin University.
Oh wow! Okay.
I'm not a strong singer, so that was the only part about it. I wasn't a strong singer, but I sung the songs or whatever. But I love playing Miss Sophia in Color Purple, the musical.
Yeah,
I love the musical, and I enjoy that. And if I could sing, I would love to have played Miss Sophia in the movie. But I'm not a singer. You know, you got to have that strong voice, which is one of the things that I'm working on. As I told Michael Finkley in the interview with him, I am taking voice lessons. That's another one of my dreams. So I still got dreams that have to come to fruition. Craig, we're going to make this, and we got to go on a date before we get married. And so, you get my phone number from Excalibur, and then you call me and we go out for ice cream and cake. So
I want my invite. I want my invite to the wedding when that comes now.
You're gonna be the best man, Excalibur.
That's right.
And we're gonna let Vic be the DJ.
Okay. When it's all said and done, how do you want the world to remember Ursula Robinson? Hold on. Ursula Kirkpatrick.
Ursula Kirkpatrick. That's what I'm talking about. This is how I want them to be remembered. I want them to remember that here's a girl who had every reason in the world to not shine, and she shined in spite of it.
Indeed.
And I want people, the work that I've done, I want when I leave here, I still want it to be blessing people. I still want it to be healing people. I still want people to still be able to look at the things that I have done and it have a positive impact. I feel like doing Divorce in the Black, to me, Mr. Perry gave me one of the greatest gifts you could ever have, which is having a scene that people continue to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, how many remember that scene from A Fall from Grace when the guy was sitting on the bed and he talking about ashtray B? You remember that? Man, I went on the social media and it was ashtray all over the place. And then they pulled apart the man's wig and they did all stuff like that. So in our culture, when we resonate with something, honey, we come all for it. We eat it up and we chew it up and we turn it up this way and that way. You know what I mean? Yeah. And my prayer is that God will open up even more doors so that I can be in more iconic scenes. So when I leave this world, just like we watch Harlem Nights and we watch Della Reese, you shot me in my pinky toe. Yes. That is what I hope my legacy is.
There you go. There you go. Well, Ms. Robinson, Ms. Kirkpatrick, we thank you for coming on the show. You're a real inspiration. You really your story pretty much reminds me of mine. I'm not to the level where you are at yet, but it pretty much reminds me of just keep doing what you're doing. Stay inspired. Don't let your dream vanish. And the reason why I say that is because I went to Bethune-Cookman College. My major was communication.
Okay.
So what I'm doing now is what I went to school for. Obviously, I partied too much. I didn't graduate. I got into law enforcement due to the fact I didn't like how I was being treated. So instead of complaining about it, I wanted to go in and help with the problem.
Right.
The pandemic, the podcasting brought me back. The pandemic and podcasting brought me back to my dream. Mm-hmm. This is something that this is my passion, what I'm doing now, interviewing people, talking sports, everything. This is what I went to school for. This is what I felt like I was supposed to do. And ever since 2020, I'm doing it. So I'm still living out my dream. I'm trying to go further with it. And just your story, just inspiration too.
Listen, Excalibur, listen. The pandemic opened up the door for me.
Mm-hmm.
My dream too, because listen, they had already started doing self-taping. Mm-hmm. So that meant that I could tape in Orangeburg, mm-hmm. or Columbia, or North Carolina, and it could reach wherever.
Yeah. Right.
So I'll say the pandemic, even though it was so horrible, I mean, it was, to me, it wasn't a great time.
It's a gift and a curse, to be honest with you.
Huh?
The pandemic was a gift and a curse.
Yes.
If you're really about your business and you're really about dreaming and living out your dream, that's where the pandemic was a gift. It gave you opportunity to focus on you, to focus on what stuff you really want to do. If you couldn't do what you want to do out of the pandemic, man, you just lazy.
Indeed. I mean, let's put it out there. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. You just lazy.
It's true. Resilience. Perseverance.
It was the pandemic. I'm telling you. So when you said that, I was like, yeah, our stories do resonate so much. Because the pandemic with more self-taping, well, this is what precisely happened. Everybody was doing these things where they call them, they're trying to get to know new actors. So they wanted people to send in these auditions, but you really want to audition and you were just sending it in so they could notice you. So a lot of people were doing it and I was tired and I was like, I don't want to keep doing these things and it ain't for nothing. And my girlfriend, Deneen Rochelle here in Orangeburg, she was like, Miss Ursula, just do this one more. Just do this one. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this one. This was for the casting directors for CSI. And so I did the audition. And a couple of months later, I get a inbox from Jack Kennedy, who's the head casting director for CSI. And he's like, hey, I'm going to feature African American actors who have no representation. Would you like to be included?
Wow.
Like, yeah. So out of 50,000 people, he said they had at least 50,000 submissions. He may have picked about 50, 75 Black people that he featured on his Instagram page. So when I was searching for an agent, he came to me, put my name out there, and I had agents and managers inboxing me.
That's all it took.
It's all it took. But see, it's like I tell people, they're like, well, Ursula, how did you do that? I was like, look, the way God worked with me, it is not the same that other people go through. Other people can go through the door this way. Somehow or another, it always is something different. Because sometimes my fear, like I was scared to send these agent emails and try to get these agents and stuff. I got to make my email correct. I got to do this. But listen, let me tell you, agents were contacting me. And even the agent I'm with now, Joy Purvis, I'm with Jay Purvis, I took a class with Miss Joy. And I was just talking to Miss Joy. I was like, oh my gosh. And I had gotten a recommendation from Jack Kennedy. And my friends were like, girl, you got that recommendation. You need to get with the best. You gonna need to be with the best. And I was like, oh, okay. And I looked for the top agent in Atlanta. And they were Jay Purvis, right? But guess what? They were already representing my coach.
Wow.
And so I knew that they did great work because she was already getting all this recognition. Arisha Connor Frierson, she lives in Columbia, South Carolina. She's been on all kind of things. She was in Dope Sick, in the Mike Tyson story, in Swagger. Was a regular on Swagger. And so, yeah, she's done all these great things and everything. And this was her agent. So I took the class. And after the class was over, I got an email. My friends were like, you had a class. You had great rapport with Joy. Send her the email, Ursula. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to send the email. So I sent the email to her. Blind email. I think the next day, I was like, oh my God, did she get the email? The next day, I got an email from the person from Get Seen Studios where she did the class. And they asked permission for them to give my information to Joy. And I was like, sure. And then Joy wrote me, she said, are you represented? I said, ma'am, I'm in somebody's back pocket, but I'm ready for representation. And she sent over the papers.
Wow.
We didn't have this long conversation. We didn't have this. She said, you're talented. I believe in you. Let's go.
There you go. There you go.
That's it. But listen to what I said. I talked to you about fears. I talked about where I was, but my headset wasn't where God's mind was. So he orchestrated all these things. So I tell people my journey is different. Other people have different stories. So there's no one way to reach your dream. Well, I guess there is. The one thing is you got to get up and do something.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than one way to skin a cat, right?
Yes, it is.
Got to do it.
Well, Ms. Ursula, I'm gonna email you. I don't have your number, so I want to talk to you more about this because there's some other things I want to do.
Okay.
And I'm gonna email you my number along with Craig's number.
Okay.
And just give me a call. Give me a call whenever you got time today, because more I want to talk to you about. But I really appreciate you coming on the show, regardless you're a cowgirl fan.
Don't worry about that, baby. You coming.
I still love you. I don't know about all that. I still love and respect you, man. God bless you. And I see good things going on for you from 2025 and beyond.
Indeed.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I enjoyed talking to you, gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite refreshing. I love it.
Let's do this more, especially when we start doing sports topics. We got to bring you on.
Yes. Bring me on, because guess what I'm going to tell you?
What's that?
Like a cowgirl.
Bye, Ms. Ursula. Y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. Hey, I'm going to email you my information, Ms. Ursula, okay?
Okay, then. All right.
All right.
That boy know he like them boys.
No.
Them boys.
I think Vic got ended.